Minister Jinson.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I rise today to speak to this motion. I appreciate the words from the member for Mulka. He's a man I have enormous respect for. And even though I will be touching on similar themes in my speech, I'll be supporting the government's amendment. The Australian Human Rights Commission released the National Anti-Racism Framework, a document shaped by national consultations and presented as a roadmap for reducing racism across key sectors like health, education, justice, and media. This framework is sincere in intent and captures stories of pain and hope from many Australians. However, as someone who has worked across frontline services and government systems, I must be honest. The framework in its current form is not practical for government implementation. The scope is enormous. It asks government to manage not just service systems, but human perceptions, community attitudes, individual interactions, things no policy or budget can fully control. That doesn't mean the ideas should be dismissed, but it does mean that we cannot adopt this framework in full as it stands. Instead, we should continue to listen to communities, support fairness through action, and confront racism in ways that are practical, measurable, and unifying, not ideological or divisive. In that spirit, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'll speak on racism, not from a place of theory, but from lived experience and from real stories shared with me by people in my electorate and across our Northern Territory. Let me begin by making my stance absolutely clear. I do not support racism in any form, none, and am not afraid to name it, call it out, and challenge it, no matter where it hides or how it dressed up. I speak today not only from my own experience, but on behalf of people I proudly represent in Sanderson. I speak with the stories of constituents, former colleagues from the public sector, and many others from all parts of the Northern Territory. What I say today may be hard to hear, but it is the truth. There is an old saying, tell a lie often enough and it becomes the truth. It's not my line. It was the method used by Joseph Goebbels, a propaganda architect in dark days of history. Let me repeat it. Tell a lie often enough and becomes the truth. And Mr. Deputy Speaker, this is exactly the method Labour is now using in this chamber, in public discourse, and in political strategy. Repeat things that are false, stir emotion, play identity games, repeat it often, and hope it all becomes truth with time. But the truth does not need help. It stands on its own. And here's one of those truths. Racism exists, but it exists in many forms, not just the kind like other people like to talk about. Let's talk plainly. There is no race on this earth made up only of good people. None. And no race is made up only of bad people either. There are good people and bad people in every group, every culture, every land. That's the truth. And pretending otherwise is not only false, it's dangerous. In recent months, I have had members of my community come forward quietly, respectfully, and shared their stories. Some have told me they feel judged not by what they do, but how they look. Others say they feel they are being told in subtle ways that they do not belong, that they are a guest even when they are citizens, parents, or elders in their community. This is not the Australia I believe in, and this is not something I will accept. As I said in my maiden speech, we all came from somewhere else. Every person in this country, if you go back far enough, has a story of migration, be it thousands of years ago, hundreds of years, or just a decade ago like me. Let me say this clearly. My daughter was born here. Her birth certificate reads Darwin, Australia. And if I say it in another way, this is Eradicate land. That means I belong here too, because she belongs here. I am her parent. I gave her life on this land, and I live here, I work here, I fight for this place. So to anyone who thinks some of us don't belong, you are wrong. This land is my home, and I'm here to stay. Now let me share an incident from my election campaign. This happened at Wagaman, which is part of my electorate, during the roadside waving. I was there with 4 or 5 other friends from multicultural backgrounds, and 2 mates who are Caucasian. We were simply waving and saying hello, being part of our democracy. A man around 75 or 80 years old, wearing a territory labor shirt, walked by. He looked at us and said, "You know, we brought you here." Let me repeat that. We brought you here. He meant labor brought us, people like me, to this country. I don't intend to debate whether that statement was racist. I will leave that to those listening or reading Hansard. However, I can say one thing, it is soaked in arrogance. It reeks of ownership. It's a kind of mindset that says, you are here because of us, you owe us. And I say to that, no one owns us. We are here because of our choices, our work, our dreams, and our rights, not because of one party or one group allowed us in. This is exactly what I mean when a lie is repeated again and again and again, until people start to believe it. The campaign of misleading claims is designed to stir people up. And when that happens, when one group starts believing they are gatekeepers, the poison of racism spreads further. Let me remind all the members of this House, no one holds a special rank. The Labour or crossbench members of this House are not better than this side of the chamber. You are not above others. You are fellow Australians, equal to every one of us. Now, racism isn't always loud. It isn't always someone yelling in your face. Sometimes it's quiet in a gesture, a look, or a tone. It's in policies that divide, words that exclude, and labels that keep people boxed in. Both forms are harmful, and both must be called out. But the answer is not to fight racism with more division. When a government tells one race, you are better or you deserve more, they are not healing wounds. They are making new ones. Since the day I arrived in this great land, I have been told Australia is a land of opportunity. I believed it, and I still do. I have lived it. This country gave me a chance, but I also had to earn it. Now let me talk about something that has shaped my thinking, something from science. Charles Darwin's survival of the fittest theory, the well-known theory from long ago, still rings true in many ways. People are born with different strengths, different talents. Not all paths are equal. Not all people can do the same things. That's not wrong, that's nature. A strong education system helps people find their strength and follow it. Let me explain. If I think I can be a singer, but when I sing, people turn away, I must learn. I must read the room. If my sound does not please people, I should not say they are racist for not clapping. That's not racism, that's feedback. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I take a moment to reflect on something personal that might happen to me on any given day. If I walk into a takeaway shop in shorts, t-shirt, and a phone in hand, someone sees me and thinks I am a Uber Eats driver. Does that offend me? No. It's not hate, it's habit. It's built on what people see often. And when certain patterns happen again and again, people make links. All of us do it in many ways. You may see a person in scrubs and assume they are a nurse who works in a hospital. You may see a person in orange high-vis and assume they are a tradie or a road worker. These are not in themselves crimes. These are how people make sense of the world. No law can stop that. No government can erase thought. You can't police every look or every thought. And if a government tries to go too far, it becomes something else entirely. When governments go down the path of banning people's culture, people's food, people's identity, that's not fairness, that's control. That's where racism can grow again, under a new name. So I say this, government should stay out of people's lives unless something causes harm to others. We should let people live, let them eat what they want, wear what they want, worship as they choose, as long as it harms no one. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm a proud Australian of Indian origin. I'm a proud father, I'm a proud Territorian, and I'm proud of where I came from. All of these things can sit together. I do not need to choose one and throw away the rest. I will keep calling out racism, I'll keep pushing for fairness, and I will not be silent when someone says I don't belong. This country is made by many hands, many hearts, many journeys. I belong here just like you. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Thank you.